Hello, so nice to meet you at Daily Motivational Meetings, reading quotes from world scriptures. Today topic is about mistakes, how to avoid mistakes, and what are the biggest mistakes for humans. You could find all the topics from this book on our channel, Message to Billions. Okay, let's start reading. Today chapter is corruption of sexual love. Lust requires for its consummation darkness and secrecy, and this not only when unlawful intercourse is desired, but even such fornication as the obesity has legalized. Where there is no fear of punishment, these permitted pleasures still shrink from the public eye. Even the parental duty done as it is in accordance with the Roman law for the procreation of children, and therefore is both legally right and morally good, looks for a room from which all witnesses have been carefully removed. It is only after the best men and the breeders' maids, the friends, the servants have gone from that room, that the bridegroom even begins to show any signs of intimate affection. Not even the children who have been born because it was done are allowed to witness while it is being done. Yes, it is good deed, but it is one that seeks to be known only after it is done, and it's a shame to be seen while is it being done. The reason can only be that what by nature has a purpose that everyone praises involved by penalty, a passion, and make everyone ashamed. Now, in the garden before the fall, the passion of anger and lust were never so roused counter to the commands of the rational will that reason was forced, so to speak, to put them in harms. It is different now when even people who live a life of moral and religious self-control have to bridle these passions. This may be easy or difficult, but the beat and bright are always needed. Now, the present condition is not what of healthy human nature. It is a sickness induced by sin. No one then should dream of believing that the kind of lust which made a married couple in the garden ashamed of their nakedness was meant to be the only means of fulfilling the command which God gave them. He blessed them, saying, "Increase and multiply and fill the earth." The fact is that this passion had not place before their sin. It was only after the fall, when the nature has lost its power to exact obedience from the sexual organs, that they fell and noticed the loss, and being ashamed of their loss covered the unruly members. But God's blessing on their marriage with their command to increase and multiply and fill the earth was given before the fall. The blessing remained even when they had sinned, because it was token that the getting of children, it is a part of the glory of marriage and had nothing to do with the penalty for sin. We conclude, therefore, that even had there been no sin in the garden, there would still have been marriages, what of that blessed place, and that lovely babies would have flowered from a love and created by lust. Unfortunately, to show just how that could be, have not present experience to help us. Nevertheless, when we consider how many other human organs still obey the will even after the fall, we have no reason for doubting that the one only member could have done the same, as long as there was no defense from loss. After all, the move our hands and feet um, to their appropriate functions wherever we choose and with the rebellion on their part. But the peculiarity of the passions of lust which we are here discussing is that the soul can neither sufficiently control itself so as to be free from lust, not is not nor in any way control the body when lust take over the control of sexual excitement in defiance of the will. This defiance is precisely that make both lust itself and the organs it controls such source of shame. Yeah, this was quote from Saint Augustine. Let's read another quote. You must know, monk, that after the floods that put out the conflagration of the end of the cosmic cycle receded and the earth came back into being. There was upon the face of the earth a film more sweet smelling that ambrosia. Do you want to know what has the taste of that film? It was like the taste of the grape wine in the mouth. And at that time, the gods of the Abhasvara heaven say to one another, let us go and see what it looks like in Jambudvipa, now that this is earth again. So the young gods of the heaven came down into the world and saw that over the earth was spread this film. They put their fingers into the earth and sucked them. Some put their fingers into the earth many times and ate a great deal of this film, and these of once lost all their majesty and brightness. Their bodies grew heavy, and their substance became flesh and bone. They lost their magic and could not longer fly. By these were others who ate only a little, and these could still fly about in the air. And those that had lost their magic cried out to one another in this manner. Now we are in a very sad case. We have lost our magic, and there is nothing for it but to stay here on earth, for we cannot possibly get back to heaven. They stayed and fed upon the film that covered the earth and gazed upon the another beauty. And those among them that were most passionate became women, and these gods and goddesses fulfilled their desire and pleasure in one another. And this was how it was monks that when the world began, lovemaking first spread throughout the world. It is an old and constant thing. And the gods who had returned to heaven looked down and saw the young gods that had fallen. And they came down and reproached them, saying, "Why are you behaving in this unclean way?" Then the gods on earth thought to themselves, "We must find some way to be together without being seen by others." So they made houses that would cover and hide them. Monks, that was how houses first began. Now the people seeing these things of husband and wife had they began, hated them despite that such couple seized them with their left hand, pushed them with their right hand, and drove them away. But always after 2 months or maybe three, they would came back again. Then the people hit them off, pelted them with sticks, clouds of earth, titles of stones. Go and hide yourself. Go and hide yourself properly. That is why today when a girl is married, she is pelted with flowers of gold or silver or pieces of clothing or rice. And the people, as they pelt her, say, "May peace and happiness, new bride, be yours." Monks in former times, ill was meant by these things that were done, but nowadays good is meant. So this was quotes from Buddhism. Further, let's read quote from the second kind Messiah, Reverend Simon. Sexual love caused human beings to fall. Therefore, our sexual organs are the most fearful things. Religion holds adultery to be the cardinal sin. Is free sex in America and throughout the world the expansion of God's philosophy of the kingdom of heaven or devil philosophy of hell? It is the philosophy of hell, run rampant, creating hell both on earth and heaven. Everyone who follows this trend is doomed. How can God love be linked to this world? True love coming down from above bring unity by the most direct and shortest path, making 90 degrees angle. Once that direct connection is made with the vertical God, the love of human beings can correspond to it. True love traveling by the most direct and shortest path, induced by the vertical love. A man and a woman move on the horizontal plane toward the vertical line, creating a right angle. This is love final destination. What was the human fall? It this right angle. God's purpose of creation described in the blessing, "Be fruitful and multiply," can be achieved only through love. According from the viewpoint of God's purpose of creation, love should be the most precious sacred act. But because the sexual act was the very cause of the fall, people often regard it with shame and even contempt. This is evidence which help us recognize that a root of human sin stems from sexual immorality. We know that the original sin has been perpetuated through lineage descent from one generation to the next. This is because the root of the sin was solidified by a sexual relationship that been one in ties of blood. Therefore, those religions which emphasize the need of to purge sin regard fornication as a cardinal sin, and they have taught the virtues of chastity and restraint in order to curb it. This is an indication that the root of sin is found in the lustful desire. And Israelites performed the rite of circumcision as a condition for sanctification. They qualify themselves as God's chosen people by bringing blood, because the root of sin lies in having taken in through the antichrist act that evil blood which permeates our being. Sexual promiscuity is a principal cause of the downfall of numerous heroes, patriots, and nations. Even in the most outstanding people, the root of sin, illicit sexual love, the illicit sexual desire, is continually active in their souls, sometimes with their conscious awareness. We may be able to eradicate all other evil, but by establishing moral codes through religions, by through, thoroughly implementing various educational programs, and by reforming the socio-economic system that foster crime, but no one can prevent the plague of sexual promiscuity, which has become increasingly prevalent as the progress of civilization make lifestyles more comfortable and indolent. Therefore, the hope of an ideal world is an empty dream as long as this root of all evils had not been eradicated at its source. Christ at his second advent must be able to solve this problem once and for all. Yeah, so interesting quotes for today that show at the point what is the biggest problem of humankind and how to control it. Just have this love relationship and marriage, and that's all. Don't have relationship out of marriage. Wish you a happy, blessed day today. Contact me anytime for cooperation or consultation. Share this video with all your friends to warn them. Stay out of these great biggest mistakes. And as we are in this Billion Happy Life Subscribers Marathon. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Bye bye.